speaking on the aspect of, as far as like how does religion affect us is now. I mean, if you go to church, I mean, do you agree that you should be in church for the rest of your life, or should you be a Christian for the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying? I mean, are there steps that you take? You know what I'm saying? I mean, can't one religion just teach you everything about this life? You know, everything about this society. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so, though.
That's what my thought is. You know, I mean.
But do you think one religion could do it?
No, it can't. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Question. You know, that's the question I want to ask, and that's I'm trying to get an answer to. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I want you to take this seat. I'm gonna let you have this seat over here in a minute, but I want to make sure this mic picks up everything you're saying. Yeah. But that's a serious thing. I mean, we should talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Can one religion? You're gonna invest your whole life in going to church to one religion? I mean, all right, now these are lives we're talking about changing here.
Here's my thing.
All right, so these people are stuck in this one religion. Is it really going to help them?
I didn't grow up in church. I'm not saying anything is wrong with church. Church has a purpose. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it has a purpose.
I always have faith. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I didn't go to church because we weren't put in the church. You know.
Well, let's keep in mind, Cedric, that I mean, everything you're saying is real. I mean, I feel that, and I go to church every Sunday because I have to go. But
there's nothing wrong with church.
No, nothing wrong with church. Understand what church is. It is at one level, you know, it's a community. Yeah. It's a community of people who share a common belief, a common destiny.
Yeah.
You know, a concept, and again. It's all about evolutionary spirituality to me.
Yeah.
In other words, no. I mean, we have to be spiritual explorers.
Yeah.
In my opinion, we have to explore, not just for the purpose of just being, know-it-alls or just eggheads in the spirit, but in the sense that we're trying to transform ourselves, our community. And even the whole cosmos. So when you think about God, I mean, how can any one idea
it's true
contain what God is?
Exactly.
You know, and that's the thing that really gets me. It's like, well, it's almost to the point to where I'm embarrassed because I see people just grossly underestimate. God made the sun, the stars. Yeah. He made the gases that make up the sun and the star. Yeah, he makes up what makes up the gases and this and that and the other as well. What exactly is the form of God? What exactly is God? What are you looking up for? How come you know God isn't in you? You are made of this earth. There's a number of things you got to really think about. What exactly is God? What is this thing that you're living your life for? This God, what exactly are you living your life for? This group over here says this group over here says this, and they all tripping.
Yeah, but see, in my idea, Akbad and Obian said, see, I have no problem with diversity of thought and idea.
Right.
The only problem that I have is when you get stuck in your opinion, when you get stuck in your thought about God. See, we're not really dealing with reality in its purest sense. We're dealing with our thoughts about reality or our thoughts about God. That's okay to have a thought about God. It's okay. The question you have to ask yourself, is it working? Is it transforming you? Is it moving you? Therefore, I always live in a tension. I always live in a tension between what I think now and what I think yesterday and what I will think tomorrow, because I realize, at least for me at this point in time, that I'm on a journey and I'm moving. Yeah. Therefore, what I'm saying today is not what I said 10 years ago. No more than when you were a child. You thought as a child. But as you become a man, you put away childish things and thoughts and languages and all that kind of stuff.
At least you would hope they would.
Well, that's right. That's right. That's right. At least you would hope. What happens is people get stuck and think that this is an established way of thinking and being. No, it's an emerging way. Yeah. You're always in the process of emerging. You should be.
So you saying exactly what I believe. You know, I believe that, like you said, evolution if you're a Christian tomorrow, yesterday you were a Christian for a reason yesterday, but tomorrow you might be something different. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's think beyond labels. You know,
I agree.
I look at like say let's see if we can have. Though I think it's important to have labels, but at the same time, let's not get stuck.
Yeah.
With a label, because remember now, God is not a Buddhist, a Hindu, a Jew, or a Christian. God is I am that I am.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, though. You know that. We all know that sitting right here.
Yeah.
But people out here don't know that. You know what I'm saying? They don't know not to put a label on something. They think they have to be this way and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Because all the other people around them do that.
But the labels have a purpose.
Yeah.
But it comes in the matter that people are taught.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a certain type of belief system at a certain age and you grow with that, it's like as a child you get a fairy tale story. You know what I'm saying? Santa Claus is bringing the gifts, you know, and you looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? But
better be good and naughty or nice.
Yeah.
So by the time you about 16, you know, you start about 15, 16, you start coming into reality. Ain't nobody coming down this chimney
already.
You know?
There is no chimney.
Yeah, we ain't even, come on.
Have a chimney.
Yeah, we ain't got a fireplace. You don't know nobody with a
We got 4 rocks on the door.
You know?
How he get in there?
Man.
How his suit still
He
clean?
good.
Yeah, that's a good point. How his suit stay clean?
Yeah,
We
man.
take it to flag.
Already.
But you have that. But like I said, the teenager get to a point where okay, I don't believe that. But it's my understanding. Fairy tales breed adult religion.
Already.
You know, it kind of grooms your mind to fit into that realm of belief where you can accept it as an adult, but nobody brings you up to speed. Okay, that was child's play. The make believe, the fairy tale, that's for a child's mind, imagination to keep running. When you get to adult, you still need to have some imagination,
yes,
no doubt. Mm-hmm. But when you start talking about what you want to call God or the All or the Most High and all of that, and say you done cornered the market on what God is, you know,
that's what the problem.
You showing your arrogance and you make yourself look ignorant. Yeah, ego. That's it. Ego.
Yeah,
and that's where all religions. To be honest with you, just to be kind of blunt, all religions are ego based. Mm-hmm. It's a way in which your particular tribe
can beat their chest.
That's right, to beat the chest, or to say I got it, or we're the chosen ones, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And so it becomes
it seems that way.
It becomes a political thing whereby, which is, be honest with you, at some level it functions.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Just like you said about the Santa Claus story. It functions. But then once you begin to leave outside of your own community and you start running into other people who look different than you, talk different than you, have different thoughts than you, then you have to make a decision. What about them and the God experience? Yeah. And if you become afraid, then you will run back to your own little group and say, well, we got it and they're just the devils. Yeah. But, it's a big universe, man. It's a big universe.
It's huge.
I know I run across a lot of people at work, and they treat it like a gang, man. It's almost like they in a gang or something. They see me do something different, they see me read a book, you know what I'm saying? They start preaching to me about, their church, come visit their church.
But why do you think they do that?
Why I'm doing this.
But why do you think they do that?
Why I think they do it?
Because you're a heathen.
Because I truly believe, they believe.
Some of that is true.
That what
he is a heathen.
What they doing is
they trying to save you.
They're saying, I guess if I'm not doing what they're doing, I'm not going to be saved. I guess,
But a lot of times the people we talking about, man, they're victims too.
Yeah, true. I know
they're
that.
victims too.
I know that for sure.
And we just left one level of the matrix and into another level of it, but they're victims too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that becomes a challenge of what do we do with those left behind.
So I guess here's my question then, and I guess it's one of the questions you all were bringing up. Mm-hmm. How is religion going to play a positive part in what we want to see in the future? Or is religion going to have to drop off and something new is going to have to be developed, or what do you foresee? I mean, because if we're talking about making real changes in generational behavior, that's going to take it's going to take something really effective. You know, something's got to be different that's done. That's going to have to get people's attention. So what do you think needs to be done? Do you think religion can play a part in this that you all are trying to do? You're really talking about making major changes. Y'all not just talking to just be talking. You're actually out there doing it.
Well, I think that as far as religion, the way it's practiced right now, for it to survive, it basically has to upgrade. You know, the information has to upgrade. The practice within the religion has to upgrade. You know, your level of understanding or overstanding, for that matter. You know, because it worked where it is now. It worked for a time period, and we going into a different time period. You know,
right?
So
if it worked for a time period, that sounds like, well, it was effective just to get people for a time period. It almost sounds like a scam.
No, not really a scam. It's just, I mean, now, I'll be honest now, some of it was a scam.
Oh.
But the fact is, just religion as itself is nothing more than a system of rules and rituals and traditions that help a particular person in space and time to define spirituality. Because spirituality in and of itself cannot be defined,
right?
Cannot be controlled. Mm-hmm. It's ever moving. It's like the wind. You don't know where it comes, where it's going. It's always moving. Mm-hmm. But because we are in a particular place and time, we try to define it. We try to determine and defend it based upon how we are thinking at the time. Mm-hmm. And that's why it functions, you know, for a time. Yeah. But then there comes a time when, like OB said, the spirit itself says upgrade. Now that's when the chaos and the conflict start, because some people like to keep things the way they are,
right?
And other people are visionaries and they want to, you know, move forward because they see something coming. So if I go back to what you were saying, OB, is that religion right now, what we call, let's just do it right now. Let's talk about the Christian religion.
Yeah.
So we can, you know, kind of contextualize a little bit. But it would apply to all religions, to be honest with you. It's going through a transition. Mm-hmm. A major transition. Matter of fact, we're in the midst of a major radical transition in our way of thinking about everything, and in particular the way we conceive and think about God. And I just don't think a lot of people are just ready for it, to be honest with you. I think,
no.
I mean, there's information out there that it can't be denied. I mean, it's so I believe that to a large extent we're in the process of developing or expanding a new mythology.
I agree with you, man.
And I mean mythology not like a lie or a fiction. I mean like mythology as a way of sublime science, as a way of conceiving reality that pushes us toward becoming a new being. And but we're in the midst of that, and you know, y'all may disagree, but the fact is that, you know, it's some information. If it became public, you know, if it became worldwide, man, it shake the very foundations of how people think right now, and you know that to be true.
Right. Just some of the stuff that you all introduced to me has been mind blowing. And here's the thing that really got me. I heard that at your church y'all played Loose Change. You played Zeitgeist.
Oh yeah.
Zeitgeist 2, the addendum.
Yeah.
Zeitgeist 3.
Zeitgeist 3.
Yeah, moving
I didn't know there was a Zeitgeist 3.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Zeitgeist 3.
And it's a 4 on this one.
Well, I'll be checking that out tonight. But those are mind-blowing movies made by some people who obviously were touched to do so, to make the movies.
Chromatica too. Check out Chromatica.
Chromatica. Yeah, we showed that.
Chromatica?
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Kymatica. Yeah.
Okay. So just in case people are listening, they want to go there. On YouTube or where?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Man, thank God for YouTube.
But see, that's what I mean. The type of technology that is just putting information out there. Blog Talk Radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Just putting information out there.
If you want to know it, you can find it out.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can be online and get a membership to museums in London and all these big museums with the different artifacts from indigenous people all over the world. You can have a membership, and they can send you files of stuff that you want to see.
That's right.
Files of stuff.
You have actually no reason. You actually have no reason to be ignorant.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That deserves a round of applause. That one statement in itself. That you. Doesn't that make sense though? You have no reason to be ignorant
unless you are dedicated.
That is true. That is the truth.
Unless you are a committed member. Unless you are a committed member to the Ignorance Club.
Thank you.
You got to have a dedication to ignorance.
That's right. Pay your dues.
Platinum membership.
That's it,
man. So I mean, now if the churches, first of all, the churches have to find a reason to open their mind up. What was the one thing you said? One guy said, emotionally attracted to your imagination.
Yeah, emotionally attached
to your imagination. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people out there emotionally attached to their imagination.
Right. Yeah.
And now, how are you going to open up their minds? What in the world do you think will have to happen before these people open up their minds enough to be able to accept real information in order for the growth to happen?
Suffering. Pain.
I mean, you hate to say it that way, but that's it. You know what I mean? It takes some people to get locked up, you know what I'm saying? To understand, being locked up ain't the way to be, Right.
But see, I don't know if it's my job to, I just try to be myself. I just try to focus in on my own development. Mm-hmm. Not just alone, but to anybody that wants to be on a journey to discovery and to transformation. We can roll, we can ride. Because truth matter is, some people, it's okay. They want to, they want to watch TV. They want to do their normal thing. They want to go and get all they can eat at the local restaurants and all that kind of stuff. And they just want to go through the rituals and emotions of life, the routine. That's okay. See, I don't have no problem with that. Yeah. You really have to allow people to, if they want to sleep, let them sleep. If they want to stay babes, keep giving them milk. You can't force a person into an awakening. What we have to do, the people who are searchers and who are awakening and becoming enlightened and all that kind of stuff, we are the ones that have to come together and to do our thing and be committed to it. Otherwise, man, you can lose a lot of energy, man. You can lose a lot of energy.
Trying to motivate these people.
I'm trying to tell you.
Man, hold up. Man, hold up. Because they just want to sit there. Man, I want to move, man. Some people talk like they want to do something. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything. They're not open to the truth. But see, that's probably the reason why. How many churches are in Pine Bluff, really? I mean, honestly. Even Google is confused.
A lot.
Even Google is confused.
That's the number.
I've heard 300 or 400.
No, that well over that. Huge amount over that.
Thousands.
Oh, yeah, it's well in the thousands. It's well in the thousands. Seriously. You can go to Google Maps, okay? Put in church 71601. Hit enter. Now, of course, it's going to say 71601 and surrounding areas, but chop it in half, and you come out with close to about, how many? I don't know, it's 1,400, 1,600?
1,300.
Yeah.
Population is not that big, but there are churches on sometimes 2 on a block.
Remember when we were shooting the video, we saw about it had
3 on one block.
Yeah,
3 on one block.
Just one block.
Just churches everywhere. But there's mayhem and early pregnancies and illiteracy and ignorance and everything going on in between all these churches.
You know,
churches.
But
churches. That's the part that gets me. If a church is doing even a minuscule amount of what a church is supposed to be about, how can these things even happen in between all these churches? How can it happen?
But
it couldn't happen.
I mean, I also see this. I mean, there's a lot you can put on the church, but the church is one institution within the society.
Right.
And to try to lump all our social problems on the church, I think would be unfair.
Right.
But then again, like you say, if you got so many churches in the area, that should be a problem in itself. Mm-hmm. The fact that you got to have so many.
Why do you have to have so many?
And it's not. I mean, we got a lot of different denominations here, and of course, you got cliques in churches, and this church is cool with that church. They don't mess with these churches over here, and you know that type of thing. And that's pretty much in all the religions.
That's in society.
Until we have control over the institution, which is, you know, from the theology and the practice all within itself, you know, the message that's going through the church gonna keep going the same way it is. You know what I'm saying? It may like you say, well, the churches, that's black folks got churches. We got the churches, but they black in attendance, but you know, not black in mindset. You know?
Right?
Yeah. If you want to use the word.
See, a lot of times, one of the what I call viruses in the mind that get our people, and this has nothing to do with their religion or their church. It's just in the people. And when they come together as a church or a school or a gang, they bring that virus to that institution. Is that, you know, we separate. We have this separation between, you know, spirituality or religion and society. You know, people they're busy trying to go to heaven that they don't understand how to bring heaven on earth. Or they're looking for, you know, the great God in the sky to come back and to do for them what they are not willing to do for themselves. And so, you know, people, and they do it in a way with they look to government. People looking for a hero. They're looking for a savior outside of themselves. They're looking for a messiah. Looking for a president. I mean, that's the virus. That's a virus in the mind.
I think so.
Already.
Where people don't even want to take responsibility for their own community, you know, their own children, their own businesses, you know, they don't want to take responsibility. They don't, because they don't believe in themselves. Mm-hmm. They don't believe. They pass that on to God. I put an article on Facebook today, and this is actually written by a white guy. And he asked this question. He says he asked the question: could prayer hinder you from healing? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people in church, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to put down, because people do have problems and everything, sicknesses and stuff. But they come to the church and and with right spirit, they want God to heal them. Mm-hmm. They want God to heal them. They're looking for God to heal them. And a lot of people, you know, they're not getting healthy. They're not. But see. How can you get on your knees and ask God to heal you? God, heal me from high blood pressure. You know, God, heal me from this ailment. Heal me from that ailment. And then you go right back out and you will consume and eat things.
Right.
That's giving it to you.
Right.
That's giving it to you.
Right.
Now, at some point, you got to make the connection.
Maybe they don't know.
You know,
that's where the fantasy comes in.
That's what I'm saying. They have to make the connection.
They think because they get on their knees and pray that I can go eat this. He gonna answer.
God is like a magician.
It's not gonna happen that way.
It's not
that's
that way.
That's that fantasy you're talking about. The illusion.
Well, do you think they know that they're doing wrong?
No, they don't know. They don't know
because
no one made the connection between your thoughts about God up there and your practice with God down here in terms of what you eat, what you drink, what you think. They don't understand that it's all energy.
Yeah.
They don't understand the simple belief that's in all religions that, at least I know it's for sure, it's in the one that the Master Jesus taught, and that was the kingdom of heaven is within you.
See, that's something that I think that people need to hear more about, because they don't really understand that. They believe that you must be a member of a church,
A building.
a building, or so. You have to be in order to be right in the eyes of God. And that's what a lot of people believe.
That's true.
The way it's been planted in their head.
Yeah, the virus.
So yeah, and so people run with it once it's been planted. They run with that idea. But I mean, even in the Bible it said 2 or more gathered in His name.
Right.
But the church really is, as you say, deeper than that.
Yeah, it's people. If people are sick, mentally, physically, and spiritually, when they come together, what are they doing?
They're gonna be a big disease.
And that's okay, because the church really is a hospital, and the people that go to the hospital are sick. But at least you got to have something that's given to them that will help them to get whole, get healed, get saved.
Well, hopefully they get something in the church that's going to help them heal them. What exactly do you think people think of when just standard question for everybody?
Yeah.
When they say that they're saved, what do you think they really think they mean?
What do people think?
Yeah, I mean, the average person is going to say, I'm saved. Okay, what do you think that person means by that? What do you think that individual means?
That they going to heaven in the sky.
They're going to heaven in the sky.
Yeah.
That they believe in the beliefs system.
That they believe in the belief.
They believe in the belief.
Okay.
They subscribe to the belief system. They don't necessarily, I wouldn't say they necessarily believe it themselves, but they just signed up because that's the system. The belief system is already there. You got to subscribe to it.
Okay.
You got to buy
That's
into it.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's my belief.
Yeah.
Right.
The belief system is already there. You choose it.
Yeah, I think I like the way OB put that, because just ask yourself, if the reason why a lot of people are, this is a hard statement now, you might not like this now, but the reason why a lot of people are, like you say, in church, in that belief system, it's because of where they were born. Yeah. Imagine if you were born in Calcutta, India.
Oh, really?
Do you think that you would be saying
Jesus Christ?
Praise the Lord? No, you'd be talking to Krishna. Or if you was born in Tibet, you'd be dealing with Buddha or some other. Or if you was born in Jerusalem, you'd be talking about Moses or somebody. My point is, a lot of people believe what they believe because they was told to believe that.
Right.
It's not because of, like OB said, it's not because they made a conscious choice. It's just an accident of birth.
Right. Because even Oprah said
this. They were given this, right?
Well, yeah. What else can you do? You come to this world, and you're a child, and your parents have a thought process. You're in a community. You certain things that everybody's talking about at school. Like, I mean, how do you pick up the idea of Santa Claus? Like you said, you pick it up because you got other friends in the community say, "Guess what I got for Christmas?" And I had friends. This is funny, but I had friends that were Jehovah's Witnesses who don't believe in Christmas. And yet, they wanted something for Christmas too.
Oh, really?
I mean, you little kid. I'm walking right here with a G.I. Joe with a Kung Fu punch. You want one too.
That's right.
You love to play. So my point I'm trying to say is that if you're born in a community where this is the dominant practice of the people in the community, you pick it up not because you were necessarily even taught it. You pick it up because it's an environment.
Right.
You catch it. And so whether people don't realize this, a lot of people have a Judeo-Christian orientation and they have never been to church.
Exactly. Me and B was talking about that, man. I mean, you got guys that be out here selling dope. Gangbanging will rob you, and the minute you talk about Jesus, they defend him.
Oh, they defended it.
They defended him, man. I mean, it's like,
okay.
You ain't thought about Jesus all day, you know what I'm saying? Now you thinking about Jesus Christ. Come on now.
That's off the chain right there.
Right. And so, you know, it's so that's why I'm talking about growth. See, most people, and this is a hard statement, fellas, but most people, and I'm not trying to put nobody down, but it's just a reality of what we deal with. Most people who have been in the church for 30, 40 years, maybe 50 years, their understanding of God has not increased or grown since they were 12.
Why do you know what? That for some reason that makes a lot of sense. I'm serious.
Right. It stopped at a certain point.
Yeah, I believe
people don't really increase their knowledge of their spiritual intelligence.
Right.
It stops at what I would call the mythic level. It stops at a certain level, a fundamentalist level, and it freezes. Now they may go on and get a college degree in science or a PhD in some other field of study.
Yeah.
And that study may even contradict what they were raised to believe in terms of spiritual intelligence.
Yeah.
But they separate the two, and they just go out in the world and they make money and they do their stuff and live their lives, and then they may come to church because they were raised that way, as they like the moral teachings, the family together, which is all good.
A learned behavior.
But they shut their intelligence off when they walk into the church.
Right.
And they say nothing.
Right.
We're living in a time when there are brothers, sisters, who are willing to ask the deep and hard questions. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, well, you know, that can be tough on some churches.
Yeah.
on some ministers.
Yeah.
You know, because one thing you don't do is you don't question.
You don't question.
That's what they tell you.
And that's one thing I've always wanted. You know, I've gone to churches where they've had Bible study, and you would think that in Bible study people would, you know, take part. And they're not taking part. They're doing the same thing they do on Sunday. They just sit there and listen to the speaker and give their amens.
But how is that even Bible study?
It's not.
It's not study.
It's not study. It's not study. It's just, it seems a little, but hey.
Well, a lot of people are afraid. I mean, be honest with you, man. People are afraid to question because somebody put another virus in their mind that if you ask a question, you are playing the role of the devil.
You're playing the role of the devil?
Yeah, because you're questioning God. You're questioning God, or you're questioning their thought about God.
What?
Because you're not really questioning God. You question their thought about God.
Right.
You know,
how do you come up with that or something? It seems like an intelligent thing to ask. How did you come up with that, or
I've heard,
why do you believe that?
I've heard stuff like, well, if it ain't in the Bible, I guess the Lord didn't want you to know it.
Or
this the type of stuff.
If you read all those books, you're gonna go crazy.
Yep, I heard that.
I've heard that one.
It's gonna mess your mind.
It's gonna mess your mind up.
I've heard that one too.
Yeah.
And so, what people do, I mean, I knew a sister, man. I know she probably ain't gonna hear this, but I know a sister, man, who went to school, college. Went to a class, heard some real radical stuff, not radical, but really just different than what she was raised to believe. It may have questioned something like, did Noah really get all those animals on the ark? All the animals we see in the word, were they all on the ark? Tough question like that.
Yeah.
And so she came back home and she raised these questions up. And I think she was like 18, 19 years old. Her mama whooped her.
For asking the question.
For asking the question. She's a grown woman. And I told her, I said, you got to, you got to know who to talk to.
That's crazy.
Just for asking the question. But in this,
even by you saying that, I read that a percentage there's more women in church than men.
Yeah,
a bigger percentage. Is that the reason? I mean,
reason for what? The reason why men should go to church? What? I mean, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
No.
You got something that goes.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think about that one, but
no, man. But I mean, is that the reason?
But this is like 80-something% women.
Because you got a lot of broken households.
90%.
That's the reason why so many saying our kids are going to Christianity as far as the religion. If the women weren't in there, do you think they'd be in there?
Women gonna go for spirituality, man. Now there's another reason for that.
Yeah.
You know, because
The emotional.
well, no, I think it's a connection to
The deity is a male figure.
The emotional.
well, like I say, and you know, the whole idea of if you take the idea that now this may go on a little wider view,
Yeah.
but the source from which everything that we know that exists in the material world, it comes through the womb of a woman.
Right.
Therefore, you can say the source is the divine feminine, or the goddess. Okay, so therefore, there's an attachment that
Boy, it got quiet up in here.
there's an attachment that women have to the source. And I know this is a PG conversation.
Oh no! This is whatever conversation. This grown folks are gonna be listening to this. Just tell it like it is.
Dr. B. Yakanan would say the closest point to heaven
Between the black woman's legs.
Yep.
exactly
Between
right.
the black woman's legs. Yeah.
Right. I mean, but that's not really trying to be pornographic. That's
Right.
really
No,
trying
we
to tell
do
you that the intersection between eternity and time is in your mother's womb.
Okay.
So you are born into this world through a womb. Okay? And therefore that becomes the source. The source is like a circle. The circle is a symbol of the divine feminine.
Okay.
Therefore we could say that everything comes from a woman, or it comes from the divine mother. Okay? So women have an attachment. The universe itself is feminine. In the ancient Egyptian cosmology, you've seen that image where they have the woman with the stars on her body,
Newt.
a newt, right? And Geb is the earth, which is male. So therefore, it says that we come from the heavens, and that the heavens is a woman,
Right.
the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so I'm just trying to say that there's a reason why women would be more spiritual, more spirit-centered. Because they have an attachment, a natural attachment to that.
Okay.
Okay, and so the fact is that I don't see this as a loss or a problem. The problem is that we have to have life. You got to have the union of the divine feminine and divine masculine. You got to have a union, and therefore, really, men do need to bring that other aspect of divinity into play so we can have life. Geb has to meet with Newt. You got to have a divine marriage. You got to unite the left side and the right side of the brain. The mind and the heart has to be united.
So you're not saying we have to go to church? You just have to meet each other.
I'm saying that church is a lot of things. Churches. If you're talking about what we're doing right now, we can say what we're doing right now is church.
Right.
When brothers on the street gang banging or what they call clubbing or whatever, that's a church.
Yeah.
A church is just a word. In church is just a word. It's a word that means assembly. So whenever we assemble, we as black folk, I remember, in college, that's just the nature of our group, black people. We just love to assemble. When we come together, I mean, we create stuff. When brothers got to rapping, how did that happen? On a corner,
Exactly.
and they start freestyling and everything. So that's church. Oh, that's church to me. Now I don't know about anybody else, but that's church to me.
Now, I see that to clear it up, because some people don't understand that.
That's right. They won't understand that.
Somebody told me, man, if you're not involved in the actual church building,
That's right.
I can go to hell.
That's right.
Oh, for real?
That's
Somebody
right.
told me that.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked you that question, man.
Because there's people out there that take that stuff so seriously, take a church building so seriously, like it's just,
He told me that.
Well,
our church didn't even start in a building. It started in a home.
a lot of churches did.
Like you said earlier, you the one that said it. Where 2 or 3 are gathered.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, spirit can drop in at any moment in time. Man, you can be sitting up in I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I've had the experience where, you know, I'm in a club or in a club, and man, we have some of the deepest conversations you ever can imagine. All of a sudden, something just drop in on you. I've been in situations where
That's right.
where brothers are just, you know, actually freestyling, you know, rapping, and then man, a dude will come up with a line. He said, "Where you get?" He don't even know where he got it from. See, you can't control spirit, man. You cannot control spirit. Church can happen, or what people call church. It can happen anywhere in any moment. You know, it can happen in the kitchen. It can happen in the bedroom. It can happen in the boardroom.
See,
it can happen anywhere.
You can even get to talking to people about church. But you mentioned that your body is the temple for your church, and then people look at you like, "What you talking about?" Like, how you taking care of your church? What do you allow in your church, your body? You know, but folks will say, "Well, we don't do that type of stuff in our church, and that church, and this church." But what you do to your own body every day? But see, then
they can't put the connection between the body and church.
Yeah. But see, you will abuse your temple all day, but then you go into the church and be holy, sanctified,
or act holy.
Yeah.
Pretend, and that's what I call it. When I see somebody lives a totally different way than what they act in.
Right.
You know, this particular building. You know,
and all it takes is really just to be honest. To thy own self be true.
To thy own self be true. Man.
I mean, it really gets down to and our people, we always gonna have church. Black folk always gonna have some form of church or gathering or
assembly, something. What do you want to call it?
You know,
we gonna come together.
One of the deep parts of African philosophy is I am because we are. You know, we're gonna organize around something. You know, even when black folks in slavery, they went outside and got around a tree, and they did something to bring their spirit out. Yeah. You know, if they was in a cotton field, they did something to feel the spirit in the way that they could and how they could. You know, we took. You know, this is the genius of the African spirit. We took the religion of the slave master. We actually took it and we transformed it into something that it was not. When they gave it to us. And that's what we've been doing all the time.
All the time. We've done that to their language.
That's right.
We've done it to their dancing, their culture.
Exactly right.
Everything, man.
We created stuff, man. We through our imagination. You know, there's a there's this video put out by Bobby Hemmett. The Conspiracy of Sound.
The Conspiracy of Sound.
Man, everybody should watch that.
You showed that one, didn't you?
Yeah, we showed that. The Conspiracy of Sound.
Bobby Hemmett.
Bobby Hemmett.
Y'all hear this?
And he's one of the master metaphysician teachers, man. And he talked about how when black folk got together and we started creating these sounds, this music, you know, like the spirituals, like the ragtime, like the blues, the gospels, and people like, you know, Count Basie. Think of his name, Count Basie. Now he wasn't a count, but because of Count Basie, you talk about Duke Ellington, okay, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, James Brown, Michael Jackson. Let's look what we did. We went into our inner laboratory of our mind, our spirit, and we were communing with spirits that produce songs, like Stevie Wonder would say, in the key of life. And we were like so profound. What's the guy that chocolate fella back in the 1950s and 60s had a real smooth, velvety voice?
Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole had his own TV show. White women would swoon over him. People would. White people are they're the ones actually who bind even the jazz and a lot of blues music today.
Right.
Now think about that. You were a boy in society, but you were a count in the club. You were a duke in the club.
And even Sam Cooke, I think he owned his own.
Sam Cooke was one of the first people, first black person.
You see what happens. You can't resist the deep dark chocolate.
No,
in the voice, in the sound, in the movement. That rhythm is addictive, man.
That's right.
And so what happened? Look at the political change. What we were in spirit through our songs. Look at today. You got blacks and now who have been recognized in the positions of power, so-called world power. What began inwardly manifests itself outwardly. That's how it was done.
Jay-Z, I was just hearing a little bit about him, man. And listen to this. I just saw an interview with him and what's the wealthiest guy in the world? Not Bill Gates, but the other one, Warren Buffett. Just chilling. They sitting there having dinner and whatever in a diner and stuff, and they had an interview with them for like about a couple of hours. It's crazy, man. It's just that what you're saying, people who started out in music just from their creativity are now in a worldly, global
That's right.
situation now.